right, let's go ahead and move on to item number 4. This is citizens to be heard. This is the opportunity for citizens, visitors, guests to address the City Council on any issue, any item on the agenda in compliance with LGC Section 551.007. City Council may not discuss any presented issue nor take any action on any issue at this time. Citizens to be heard are limited to 3 minutes each. Attorney General Opinion, JC 0169. Let's see, and we do not have anybody signed up for that. So I will still go ahead and ask, do we have any? We do have some signed up for some agenda items, but do we have anybody here to be heard? Going once, going twice. All right, thank you so much. Paula, if you can go ahead and put on there no comments on citizens to be heard. Let's go ahead and move on to item number 5, consent agenda. Consider approval of minutes, May the 12th, 2025.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes for May 12th, 2025 as presented.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Got a second. Okay. Discussion? Anything? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead and move on to B. Consider approval of payment of bills.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the payment of bills as presented.
Okay. Got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you so much. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you so much. All yeas. Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and keep going on. We're going to go ahead and move to item number 6. This is a public hearing. Conduct a public hearing concerning the preliminary and final plat, Luisa Laverne Peña, farm acre subdivision being 2.001 acres of land out of lot 37, block 40, San Antonio Suburban Irrigated Farms, according to plat recorded in volume 980, page 125 of the plat records of Bexar County. Said 2.001 acres being the same called 2.001 acre tract recorded in document number 201-902-34862 of the official public records of Bexar County, Texas. Paula, if you can go ahead and show us, we're opening the public hearing for this item at 3:34 p.m. Yes, 6:34. Thank you. I should have drank that Dr. Pepper. I'm telling you. All right. Do not have anybody signed up for this one either. But we will go ahead and open it up. See if anybody for this item. Going once, going twice. All right, let the record show 6:34. We're gonna go ahead and close the actual public hearing, okay? All right, let's go ahead and move on to B. Conduct a public hearing concerning the abatement substandard dangerous structure located in 14852 Main Street, Lytle, Texas 78052. Let's go ahead and show opening the public hearing at 6:35 p.m. Don't see anybody signed up for this one either, but we'll go ahead see if anybody would like to. Going once, going twice. All right. Let's go ahead and show the public hearing closed on this one, 6:36 p.m. And no comments. So no comments on both public hearings. All right, Council, let's go ahead and keep going. Let's go ahead and jump right into the open session. Take action on items discussed. We'll go ahead and take a look at the first one, which is 7A. And this is consideration and possible action concerning a preliminary and final plat of Luisa Laverne Peña Farms acre subdivision being 2.001 acres of land out of Lot 37, Block 40, San Antonio Suburban Irrigated Farms, according to the plat recorded in Volume 980, page 125 of the plat records of Bexar County, said 2.001 acres being the same called 2.001 acre tract recorded in document number 201-902-34862 of the official public records of Bexar County, Texas. Zach?
Mayor and Council, so the preliminary and final plat that y'all have before y'all this evening is actually located in the ETJ of the city, so it's not inside the city limits, kind of at the corner of Old Frio City Road and Wisdom, I believe there. And so this particular plat was required by Bexar County as they are seeking a septic tank or offsite sewage system on this property, and so Bexar County required them to go ahead and do a new plat for the property for that purpose. And so they contacted us about that. TRC reviewed it, and ultimately you have the plat that's before you this evening for approval based on compliance with our regulations. So. And we do maintain in all three counties the authority on anything in the ETJ as far as subdivision regulations. So that's why, again, even though it's not inside the city limits, that's why it's before y'all this evening for approval. So
The lot 37, block 40, that's the portion that's in the ETJ?
yeah, the whole property is in the ETJ. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just under something that was just lot 37, block 40.
Yes. Yeah. The whole 2 acres is inside the ETJ. Yeah.
Okay. And we obviously do not have sewage service in that.
No, we do not.
Council?
There's no home there?
No, I do not believe so. No.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the preliminary and final plat of the use of Devine Peña Farms acres subdivision being 2.001 acres of land out of lot 37, block 40, San Antonio Suburban Irrigation Farms, according to plat record in volume 980, page 125 of plat record for Bexar County, said 2.001 acres, being the same called 2.001 acre, tract recorded in document number 20190234862 of the official public records of Bexar County, Texas.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, got a second? Okay, any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All nays? All right, Zach. I'm going to work with the homeowner on that one. Take care of that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to B, consideration and possible action concerning the abatement of substandard and dangerous structure located at 14852 Main Street, Lytle, Texas 78052.
All right, so Mayor and Council, under the public hearing, you had the report from our building official, which is with AOCA, who does our city inspection services, and also pictures that were conducted during an inspection that took place on April 4th of this year at the structure located at 14852 Main Street. So this is the structure that's located back behind or close to Stouts over here off of Main Street, just behind us back here. As you can see, the structure in question is a vacant structure. There is another structure on the property that is habitable. It's being currently used as a house. That structure is not in question during this. It's just the structure in the rear of the property, and obviously the pool and outbuilding associated with this building. You can see in the pictures that the structure is in quite a dangerous state of disrepair. and neglect, including multiple cases of animal feces were found, especially raccoons. I think Captain Matt Deere had gone on the inspection as well with our representative from AOCA, indicated that there was even a raccoon that was live but stuck there at the time they made the inspection. So, I mean, it's kind of active infestation going on over there. So, obviously, given the state of the building and the structure it is so far gone, there's a lot of, even on the second floor, a lot of the later pictures that were provided is all based on showing how much the floor has kind of sunk in areas and just completely rotted out. And so based on that, we're recommending, obviously, demolition of the structure. We don't think it's in a state that can be repaired. And so we're hoping that, obviously, council agrees with that and moves forward. The item does include, under the action item, a template of what that order would potentially look like. That's not the final order, but we just wanted to provide that, being that is our recommendation for this particular structure. I will note that if that is the action of council this evening, the applicant will, or the property owner will be able to have 30 days to make that demolition happen. If they do not complete that demolition, then the city will be able to hire a contractor and take care of the demolition ourselves, and then a lien would be filed on the property that would be eventually recouped when the property sells at some point down the road, or can be paid over time, and that kind of stuff. So worked really closely with Austin, so if there's any legal issues that you need to speak about on this one, then I'll refer over to Austin as our attorney. So,
and I know y'all haven't done a bunch of these in the past, so and we revised the ordinance recently. So if y'all have questions about how the process works or want an overview of it, I can walk through that. Now, the important thing today with regard to the hearing, notice was sent out to the owner as well as what we think is a mortgage or lien holder for the property as well, inviting them to come today. And the reason for that was this whole process starts with a presumption. The building official has already found this is a dangerous structure. The purpose of the hearing today is to give the owners a chance to rebut that and present evidence on why if it can be repaired, present a plan to do that. Obviously, that didn't happen today, so repair is kind of off the table. Your other options for the order are to, and you can do some or all of these, would be to order it secured, which is boarded up, fenced up, whatever needs to be done to keep things out of it. Vacated, meaning nobody's allowed to occupy it until it's either fixed or demolished. And the demolition, obviously, is to tear the building down and remove all the debris from the property. And you can do all three of those, or any one of those. It's up to y'all how you do the order.
Well, I saw the pictures and read the report. So, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that the City Council orders the demolition and proper announcements made to property owners for the property listed at 14852 Main Street, Lytle, Texas, 78052.
Got a motion on the floor for demolition?
I'll second that.
Okay, got a second. Any further discussion?
If the city does get involved in the demolition portion of it,
yes, sir.
how does that go about? Is it put out for bid, or do we have somebody already under contract that we work with? Or?
So 30 days from now, the city can just proceed with it automatically. My recommendation, just to make sure everything's papered properly, is that this come back to y'all with fresh pictures taken a month from now. Assuming the owner doesn't demolish it, we present evidence, hey, your order today has not been complied with within the 30 days. At that point, the city, if it's under, I don't know that you need to bid it competitively. You can just solicit bids and they'll look, if if you get one that works, then that should be fine. It's not going to be over $50,000.
Yeah, normally you would get just your normal purchasing, which would be 3 quotes from companies that would be able to demo, and then we obviously would decide based on that. So
we would go through a bidding process.
yeah, typical. Well, not your formal bidding process, but obviously
Submissions from contractors or outside organizations?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure it's well documented when we do that.
Yes.
I want to make sure that that's, whether it's public or whether it's held locally, the cost that, for each person that came in to bid on it,
Okay.
And that can
and
be,
how we went.
that can be transparent. We can bring that back to you all. If you're ready with that at the next meeting, that can all be done at once, basically.
I don't necessarily need it to be made public. I'm just saying, as long as we have that
We have that
documentation.
documentation on the back.
Yeah, I say we could just move forward.
Okay. Anything else for discussion?
My understanding would be if we do tear it down, then we can charge the owner for
Put a
the
lien.
Assess a lien on the property, we file a lien.
You invoice them first, basically, to say, and it's, all you're doing is passing along the bill from the contractor that tears it down. That bill is considered conclusive evidence of the money the city spent to tear it down. So you pass that on in the form of an invoice, and generally you'll give the owner 30 days to pay it, 60 days, something like that. At the point that they don't pay it, then we move to do a lien. So you give them at least a chance, typically, to
Sure.
pay it.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. With that in mind, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. Thank you, council. Appreciate that. And thanks for all the research. Appreciate it, Matt, going out there. Appreciate everybody involved just to make sure that we took care of that, and Austin for your help with that too. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at C, consideration and possible action concerning request from Gary and Monica Hack regarding land for sale in Lytle for the Washateria dry cleaners that has city sewer system. So, Zach, did you have anything? Nope.
No,
Okay.
Monica Hack to present.
Perfect. All right.
Thank you for letting us be here.
I'm Gary Hack Jr., and this is my wife Monica, and we are the owners of the Lytle Washateria Cleaners. And we, just to kind of give you a little background, we're in a building right now that's owned by another person that we're leasing from. And we actually maintain the building ourselves. The owner doesn't. It's part of the contract. We do everything. We fix everything. Anything that breaks, it's our responsibility. Along with inflation and the economy and things arising, our laundromat is suffering when it comes to the things that we need to keep it, to maintain it. So what we're trying to do is to find a building here in Lytle that we could transfer our business to and be able to grow it, because we do service not just Lytle. We have customers from Devine, Lacoste, Castroville, Somerset, from pretty well all over, even from Pearsall, and we get some from Southwest. So we service a lot of people in the area, and we are really trying to maintain things, but again, like I said, expenses are getting expensive. And we did find a building on Main Street. It's further down. Unfortunately, there's no sewer system there, and of course, when you have a laundromat, you have to have a sewer system. So we would like to purchase the building so that we can maintain it ourselves, and so we don't have to have the expense of somebody else, or paying the expenses of somebody else's for a building that's not always maintained appropriately. So what we'd like to do is buy this property. Unfortunately, there's no sewer on that part of Main Street. Now, if you go kitty corner from it at the GNC building, there is a sewer system there. Now, I'm not sure if there's any plans for growth that we could get a sewer system in that area. It just seems like it's beneficial for Lytle in itself, because Lytle's a growing city, and there's a lot of businesses that I know would like to be here or be on that street, because it is a main street and it does have a main exit off the highway. But we are requesting to see if there's any plans or anything that would motivate you guys to actually put sewer out there so that we can maintain our business, because we are getting to the point now with maybe another year or two, we're not going to be able to do it anymore. So we would have to go either somewhere else or close the business. So we're really trying to figure out some way to make it work. And our request is there a possibility that sewers can be placed out that way. And we're looking at a building there that we would refurbish, get it all cleaned up, and to make it look nice on Main Street.
It's the McGrath the plumbing building, the old plumbing building. It's 14605 Main Street. Yeah. If you're familiar with it.
How far, Zach and Pete, how far does the sewer go out on Main Street?
And so I think it goes to the Catholic Church and then crosses over.
Okay.
So and then you have the apartments and it goes right behind to the community center.
And then goes that way. Okay. Yeah. So, combination of two things, just so you kind of have an understanding. So there's certain areas that the council, based on the plan that we actually have, we've already taken a look at which way Lytle's going to grow. And those are the considerations where we look at. So just for your reference, the way Lytle is going to grow from here is actually going to grow on 2790 towards Somerset. That's where our growth is. If you notice, we have the residential, the front is going to have commercial, so it's going to grow this way. That's what the plan is. So anything going up this way is not part of the plan for us to do anything that goes along with that. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't. The thing is that if you do want sewer in there, you obtain the cost to be able to do that, the engineering, the running, everything that goes along with that. And depending on where it is, I think it's kind of like sunk, that would require a little bit of extra to be able to get it into the system. But that would be on the cost of the property owner. So anybody in the city of Lytle, if they don't and they want to have sewer, you can, but you'll have to go ahead and go through the process of getting it engineered, designed, and installed in there. That's the cost that goes along with that. Anybody in the growth that goes along with that, they get it engineered, designed, and the cost. So anybody that wants sewer capability within their areas, whether it's an area that we're already planning for growth or an area that is not, will need to go ahead and do that on their own. That would be the cost that goes along. The city is not planning to run an additional line. Everything that is going this way is actually being paid by the developers or the people that are actually going out that way.
Well, you're saying 2790, and
Yes.
I know you're talking about the new subdivisions behind Lytle Bank and all that area.
That's correct.
Well, if you look at that area, it may be growing that way, but it's only growing residential, not business-wise, because most of the residential that are out there, anything beyond that is privately owned and there are homes there. So how can you...
Good question, or good comment. So if you drive on here, you haven't seen this on here, but you can kind of see it over here. If you drive on here, you will notice that along right here, it doesn't come all the way. Even though there's only one home here that is not. Everything on here, the property owners, they still own all this, and the way it's designed is to have commercial. So imagine going into the subdivision, you're going to have commercial on both sides, so you can go ahead and take care of whatever you need to do, whether it's restaurants, mini clinics, dental clinics, in the front, and then you drive in and then you have a neighborhood. So that's the reason why the neighborhood is offset in, is because in the front it's supposed to be all commercial.
So is there any way we can get a cost of what it would cost? Because, if you look at the sewer system, I know what you were saying over there where it was, the GNC building, which is next to the church there, closer to where the building that we are, does have sewer. So if it crossed over from the Catholic Church over, could they cross over back over?
You can, but not through us. That is if you want to, then you would have to go ahead and get an engineer, go ahead and study it, come up with a estimated cost of what it would actually cost. It would get coordinated through the city just to double check where the connection is going to be and everything. But that would be up to the property owner to do that.
Well, let me ask you this. You said that there's going to be an area there for businesses. Is that what you said?
Yes, in the front.
Okay, and how much in the future will that be?
It depends on the property owners when they want to go ahead and begin that. One is probably going to get a little bit more aggressive than the other ones. We might look at it within a couple of years, I would say, one of them. The other one, we really don't know. But the plan that was presented to them and also presented to TxDOT, just so you know, because that's a TxDOT highway or road, pretty much identifies commercial right down. So as you're driving towards Somerset, you're going to have commercial all the way in the front, residential in the back.
Is there a point of contact that we could contact to find out how soon that they're
We could
I can put you in touch with the developers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if that's a possibility and if they're planning on putting sewage in, We just want some place to
Yep.
be able to have our business because we can't afford to
Yeah.
rent too much.
The sewers has already been run, and they're still connecting as they're growing, so they're the ones who actually are doing all that along that way.
You see, that's the thing is small businesses are getting harder and harder to run in the United States. And we feel like small businesses are being pushed out because big commercial people, like you're saying, are buying these properties up, and they look for big businesses to rent these places. So it's really difficult for us to compete. That's why we're asking Lytle, is there anything that you can do for us to help a small business run and thrive in an area that's needed? So it's a community thing. It's not just,
Just another business.
another business
we
that's being
provide
popped
service.
up like a restaurant or something else. This is a business that services.
Point. But just so you know, even if it was a home that came in, they went and bought a lot anywhere over there, okay? And they want to connect to the sewer, it's a cost that goes to get connected to the sewer. So it really doesn't matter whether it's the old or the new. If you want to get to connected to the sewer, there's going to be a cost associated with that. And it's just how normal business is done, be able to do that, okay? And it's been that way, by the way. This is nothing new. It's always been that way. Water lines, the same way too. Anybody wants to expand, they want to have the water. We have some people that say, hey, we want to be able to have the water. And they're inside of our CCN, they have to be able to pay to be able to connect and run everything that goes to their property. Yes, sir. But what we can do for you right now is we can get you, and maybe that part of the decision is go talk to the developers and see if maybe that's something that kind of lines up with the opportunity that goes along with that. The other thing that we can do for you too is if we hear of somebody else that is selling and there's capability along and there's connectivity along with that, we'll make sure that we have the information and we can pass that on to you. So there might be another location that could be possible that is already connected, so it doesn't give you the issues or the concerns that you actually have right now.
We've looked at a lot of the areas here in Lytle on Main Street. That's primarily where we need to be when it comes to this type of business. But we see a lot of buildings that are just sitting there. They're not being sold. There's a lot of, there's not a lot of parking for people to even park at. So, it's really limited when you look at the town in itself. And that's why we're looking at a place where we can expand a little bit so that we can accommodate for whatever growth that ever comes here to Lytle.
Council, anything?
So you haven't purchased it yet?
Not yet.
We haven't. No, our decision was based upon, the sewage system. Yeah, we like it. It would be great. It would be a great property. And we feel like the business is really growing, and we offer alterations, which people come from Moore, Texas. Nobody offers that. We offer a wash and fold service. So we're offering lots of good services that the people need, and they're coming from all over to us, but we cannot continue to service them if we have to continue to rent. Every year the rent goes up, and it's just getting so costly. And they don't take care of pretty much. We pay our own water, we pay our own sewage, we pay if there's
the AC goes out, we buy
pay everything in that building that is needed to be done except for the roof. They did put a new roof in. We've had to do, and it's just getting so costly that we are having a hard time maintaining our business.
So ideally, I would like to have sewage in that area. That's my district. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I looked at in where the home that I live in, we have septic system. Mm-hmm. Okay, does it make sense? You're living on Main Street. You got apartments by you. You got other houses. You got the community center. But yet you're living in a residential with sewer, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. When we looked at it, one of the problems was the elevation. So there would have to be a lift station, and that was going to be quite expensive to the city. And then too, when you bring in septic, each resident, if it's provided by the city, each resident has to set the sewage system in the state, right? Which has an impact fee. And we're talking about a couple $1,000 per resident. Mm. So what the mayor is saying about doing that expense, you would also have that expense as well to tap in. If they did do the line there. There was talk about maybe having a lift station further down, and we were looking at all that, but right now, based on what's there and the type of businesses that are there, and obviously another business would be welcome, but unfortunately right now it's just not developed enough for you to do that. Now one of the things too, if you decide to go into this new area, you're probably going to pay a premium. because it's, essentially it's a new area, commercial district, and that may have a freedom to go there. But I am looking at that, and I have talked to the city about it, and right now it's just not feasible, unfortunately.
The lucky thing that can happen out there is somebody comes in, a business, and they're like,
Walmart.
We want it, and we will pay for it to run down. Well, then just like, the sense of being able to address that now we have a connection opportunity to be able to do that. But right now there's nothing like that would be able to. We would definitely be able to support if they gave everybody along the way to be able to do that. But for right now, the burden is based on the one who's requesting.
The sewer stops right there in front of the civic center area?
Yeah.
Well, on that side.
On that side.
But because if you look at Main Street, you see I guess that would be the west portion of Main Street. It dips down right there, and there's only 4 or 5 homes that are up down along that area. And then you have the ocean, the lucky, whatever it's called. So it stops right there by where the dentist office is. There's a couple of houses that have sewer, but then it stops.
But you're not opposed to doing it if they pay the impact fees and all that?
Well,
If they're willing to pay all the impact fees and all that to cross it underneath the road? And the running and all that, so it can be done as long as we inquire the impact fees and pay the engineers and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
Correct.
That's all. So as long as you're willing to do that, as long as you're willing, and we know we have to pay all the engineers and the impact fees and all that, it is possible for us to do it. That's what we need to know. So whether we need to purchase the property or back away from the property, so that's what which way we want to go.
It's go look at it. The valid point that was brought up and looking at that area before was the lift station, so they require that to be part of the engineering.
Yes, sir.
But that's where
because it goes down.
Being able to take a look at it and see how it looks, whether or not it would be something that would make sense. If it does make sense, talk to Zach so we can take a look at it, run it through our engineers, and then try to figure out, see if there's a possibility. But
if it's helpful, with impact fees, it's always based on who benefits from the extension. So to the extent the city runs a line that benefits or could benefit multiple
property,
if those other property owners are also requesting sewer service, that would change the math.
Yes,
understand. Sharing some of
sharing some of the impact fees on that. So if we had more than one, then we can have everybody resolve it.
This from history. I've been here, 2 of us have been here for a while, okay? This discussion has come up before, not on Main Street, but on a different part. And out of 8 people that could actually benefit of that, guess how many wanted it?
One.
The others didn't want to pay. So that's a reality. That's a reality, and that's why we try to make sure to get educated, to understand about it, and try to figure it out. But we can get you the information. I want to make sure you get as much of the information. We'll do everything that we can do to get you. With possibility, maybe there is something in the near future to be able to do that, because that's the vision that they have for that area, is to be able to have everything in the front with a commercial growth. So it's a lot easier for people to use what they need to use versus having to drive somewhere.
Well, I know a lot of our customers, they use H-E-B, and then they come to Naomi's Diner, so they're in the area. So it's very convenient being right there on Main Street. And we service
you got customers from Somerset.
We do.
Yeah.
Even though they have laundromats in both places.
I used to go over and talk to them. We would run into plenty of people from Somerset. Actually, that was one of the data points that we actually collected many years ago when we first started, is visiting different locations to include H-E-B. And that's where we found out where people come from. And there's a lot of people from Somerset that actually do come this way.
And the problem is that there's a laundromat in Castroville, but it's very run down. And we've asked if we could take over and fix it up, and the man's not interested. Lacoste closed down. Somerset, I think there's still a laundromat, but apparently it's not being maintained. They don't have a dry cleaner. So it's a needed service, but there's a lot of people in the area that come because they don't have those services. We even have people coming from Castroville because they don't like that laundromat over there, and they don't maintain it. So. we're servicing lots of people. We just need a place to go.
We'll get you the information, and trust me, if we hear something, we understand what you're looking for, and try to get into something that is easier for you to do what you need to do, we can definitely help you out with that.
We would appreciate that very much. Thank you.
But we appreciate it. Is there anything, Council, anything else?
Well, I'd just like to say, if you're going to pursue Main Street, contact me. If I can be of any assistance, give me information.
I'll do that. Do you have a business card by chance? Okay, that'd be great.
The old laundromat.
It's not for sale, and there's no parking. They just have the one little.
And it's really kind of a flood zone. The place has been flooded several times.
Yeah, it's very low, and so they always have water issues. So,
I would think maybe looking into it, and you can elevate that, have run something out that way. Two different costs in that part.
It really depends on the size of the lot, because we really need, because our parking lot gets full. And unfortunately, because we have Naomi's Dimer there, a lot of people take our parking places, and our customers are having to lug their laundry from the other side of the parking lot.
And we have a lot of older people too that we don't want them to have to be lugging laundry.
Railhead never thought about selling theirs either.
I don't know what's going on with Railhead. It's just vacant. It's just there.
We still have it too. Austin, do we need to no action? Do we need a motion for no action on this one? Just leave it? Okay. I'll be able to do that.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. We'll be standing by. Please work with Michael and work with Zach. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hack. Appreciate it, sir. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to D. And yep, we do have. Here we go. Consideration and possible action concerning resolution number 2527, a resolution for the City Council, City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of a developmental agreement or development agreement by and between the City of Lytle and Rowan Cinco LLC, providing for incorporation and preamble, authorizing the city administrator to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement and providing an effective date.
All right, so Mayor and Council and I also have Aaron Henry here with Rowan Cinco representing that group. Obviously, we've been working really closely for the last few months on multiple phases of obviously the development that's occurring or going to occur out for the data center. This is kind of the next step, is an actual development agreement laying out certain terms. I highlighted in the data sheet that was provided for y'all kind of the big items that are contemplated within this development agreement. Obviously, annexation of each of the phases as they get developed, and then the development regulations that they are agreeing to kind of abide by, which are carbon copy of our zoning regulations from the industrial zoning district. Obviously, Rowan intends to file zoning and annexation concurrently, and so that's contemplated within this agreement when that time comes. As far as general utility services, at this time, sewer services is referenced for this particular agreement, only that we will be entering, agreements as we continue to kind of move on, but not obviously a part of this particular thing. And I know a big ticket item that's kind of been out there for a long time is obviously the new road that would be established connecting Juarez to 683 out of the coal mine subdivision. And so within 6 months of the start of the operation of that first data center building, and I think they intend to do it much quicker than that, but at least that gives them a little time frame in there that they would be extending Juarez Street for us to have that secondary access into coal mine and out of coal mine. So again, those are the big things. Obviously, if there's any questions, I'm happy, or Aaron is happy to highlight anything. But again, this is kind of that next step in the process with this group. So.
Yep. The same stuff that we've talked about before. Council is just the paperwork now following through, basically.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2527, resolution of the City Council of the City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of a development agreement by and between the City of Lytle, Texas and Rowan Digital LLC, providing for incorporation of preamble authorizing the city administrator to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement, providing effective date today of May the 28th, 2025.
Okay, got a motion for Rowan Digital LLC. Got a second? Okay. Any further discussion?
Who's second?
Richard. Yep. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Aaron, thank you so much.
Thank you all. We really appreciate it. It's been a good partnership thus far, and we look forward to continuing it.
Yeah. And I do, in front of council, I just want to let you know the commitment of Rowan, it's not only extends to us, but the community. They're already been involved in some community programs and helping out. And little by little, they're starting to show their presence a lot more in some of these different events. So we really appreciate the partnership and helping us out. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Safe travels. Thank you.
Mayor, for 7C, do we not need to make a motion to take no action?
I asked.
Okay. Yes,
He said that was fine.
Yeah, he said it was fine. Okay, so let me go back to this one. Let me just make sure. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go ahead. That takes care of that one. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to E, consideration and possible action concerning resolution number 2528, a resolution of City Council of City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of a municipal maintenance agreement by and between the City of Lytle, Texas and the Texas Department of Transportation, providing for incorporation of preamble and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement and providing an effective date.
All right, so Mayor and Council, we received a updated municipal maintenance agreement with TxDOT for the City of Lytle and TxDOT. It's really, in looking back at the version that was approved, I think in 21-22, around that time, there's really just general cleanup and kind of clarification on some items. So nothing really changed, but they obviously want a new agreement put in place, and so they're doing this with all their various entities around. So this is why the item is on for the evening.
So the content within, just like they did on the last update, is just basically saying who's responsible, how often does it happen, and everything else. And it gives the flexibility for the city. So if we feel that we want to go ahead and do additional stuff than what they would normally do, then that gives us the authority to go in there and cut the grass or do some sort of maintenance or something that goes along with that. As you noticed on the roads, you're around the area. It's not only us, but around the area. There's a contractor that has stopped by and already started taking care of the sides in between the frontage roads and the highway. So that's part of the norm. I think they're listed for twice a year.
Yeah, so normally they hit it in January, February timeframe, and then they'll do right before, or December, January, and then they'll do right before like summer, so around this time. So as we're going into summer. But it does, like the mayor said, it does allow, which the previous agreement did too. It just, like I said, was some clarification of things, but it does allow at any other time we could use our own labor or contractor to go mow those areas as appropriate. So
Do we need to get their approval before we do that? We don't have to ask them?
Basically says you have carte blanche to do it. So, yeah.
All right, Mayor, I make a motion that we approve resolution number 2528 as presented, effective today, May 28th, 2025.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Got a second? Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. Motion carries forward. All right, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and move on to F. Consideration and possible action concerning Resolution 2529, a resolution in City Council of City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of an agreement by and between the City of Lytle, Texas and Kimberly Horn and Associates for individual project order number 2513002 regarding the submission and resilient Communities Grant Application Services, providing for incorporation of preamble, authorizing the city administrator to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement, and providing an effective date.
All right, so Mayor and Council, there is a current grant opportunity through the General Land Office for cities to update or formulate new comprehensive plans. If you all recall, the comp plan is on our list of priorities. It's not towards the top, but it is expiring at the end of this year. So it is something that we definitely want to get taken care of sooner rather than later. With this grant opportunity, the GLO is being very particular on how you can qualify, and so Kimley Horn, as one of our engineers, has offered to help in the application process, and so this is that request put before you for the project number associated with that. We are using funds that would be left over from the ending of our contract with EMC that would still be budgeted to pay for Kimley Horn's efforts as far as putting the application together for us. So that's where that is coming out of.
Is this the full amount, or is this a specific amount that's going to be granted?
So the grant, this is just to pull the application and all the documents necessary. The grant amount, I think, is fully funded. I don't think it has a match, but it can be up to like $200,000 or $250,000 for that. The idea is that we would, in talking with Kimley Horn, is we would have the comprehensive plan. GLO really would like to make sure cities include either hazard mitigation or zoning, which we've talked about, at council level, is really updating our zoning and getting that to the 21st, 22nd century. So that would be really the big component of this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Free money always sounds good, so I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 2529 with the effective date of today, understanding that it has not to exceed $9,000. Is that right?
No more than $9,000.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Okay. Got a motion, got a second. Any further discussion?
Any idea how long it takes to make this happen?
As far as the application is concerned, yeah.
The application and getting the approval?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking they'll be able to pull it together here in the next, 60 days, and then we'll submit, and then we'll see. I know the GLO, the grant opportunity is kind of a rolling grant, so it's just staying continually open. So I don't know if they're like quarterly looking at applications that come in. I don't know how that's happening, but it is just open all the time.
I just would have a comment. We actually help several cities with that, so I'm glad you got a good engineer, because it is a very...
Could you just do a quick introduction? I know you're later in the agenda, just so that
Travis Pruski with the Nueces River Authority. I was going to say we've helped several cities and counties with this project. It's a great project, but I'm glad you got an engineer, because it's a very intensive process to get through the application process, and it takes about 12 to 18 months.
That sounds good.
And then the number of your dollar amount could be from 50 to 200,000. They look at a whole lot of data where you're at and stuff, but it's a great program. But I'm glad you have someone to help you, because it's very intensive. It's not an easy process at all.
Yeah.
So good work.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Travis. All right. Any other items for discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. Motion carries forward. All right, Zach. I'll be having fun counting, analyzing. I know. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to G, consideration and possible action concerning Resolution 2530, a resolution of City Council of City of Lytle approving the terms and conditions of change order number 1 to the agreement by and between the City of Lytle, Texas and Underground Water Resources, LLC for the plugging of well number 3, providing the incorporation of preamble authorizing the city administrator to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement, providing an effective date.
All right, so Mayor and Council, I know we talked about it before, but I bring good news. Obviously, we can submit a change order for the plugging of well 3 for the lower amount, which is a reduction of $19,000 from the original contract price, given Edwards Aquifer approved the gravel and grout method of plugging well number 3. And so before we proceed with the work, we wanted to get this change order in front of y'all, since it is a change change to the contract in place. So.
That is good.
Mayor, I make a motion again that we approve resolution number 25-30 with the effective date of today, May 28th, 2025, as it is presented to us.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Got a second? Okay. Thank you so much. Discussion.
And who's going to do that?
UWR, Underground Water Resources. They're the ones that help us with well 2. Yeah, at Devine.
Devine. Yeah, local.
Ready to go as soon as...
Yeah, they've actually staged some stuff. I don't know if y'all have been out that way.
Okay, good.
So some stuff is already staged. So yeah, they're ready.
Yeah. We'll be able to take care of this open item.
Long overdue.
Long overdue. So it'll be good. It'll be good for us to get it done. Okay, if there's no other further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. All right. All right. Zach. Pete, you ready? Okay. He'll be ready. He'll be ready to take care of that one. One less we need to worry about. It'll be good. All right, let's go ahead and move on to H. Consideration and possible action concerning authorizing the city administrator to close certificate of deposit account ending 6599 and certificate of deposit account ending 12639 at Lytle State Bank with the funds totaling $5,000 and $250,000 respectively.
All right, so Mayor and Council, like we've discussed previously when we started Text Pool, the idea was that as CDs matured with Lytle State Bank, we would go ahead and close those accounts out and move those over to Text Pool for purposes of getting obviously the higher interest rate on that money. So this item looking to accomplish two things, obviously making sure that y'all are still good with that and approving the closing of those two that have matured as of this month. And then additionally, in speaking with Yvonne, because although we'll move it all into one Text Pool account, we want to make sure that this money is committed appropriately. So wanted to make sure on the back end that we're reflecting it appropriately. And so I need some direction from y'all in the motion to actually commit the money to individual funds, whether general fund or utility fund or whatnot. I did provide that originally this the $5,000 account was, when we pulled it, it had some reference to water revenue. Again, it was, though, pulled in 1990, so I don't know how much that really translated forward or not. And then the $250,000 one had no tie or any information to it, so not really sure. So it's really kind of up in the air. They can both go to general fund or they can utility. It's really just I need direction from council. So.
It wouldn't, if we say general funds, it wouldn't go immediately into general funds. We're going to put it in the text pool.
We're putting it in text pool. It's just knowing that, hey, this is reserved for future general fund. To note it that way. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we obligated in any way to designate the $5,000 to stay in the water fund?
No. She is indicating no. I just wanted to reference that is what originally I think the money was set aside for, but with it going all into one, there's no indication that we have to use it for that.
And
it'd be different if it was like grant money or something like that, but there's no indication that that's the case.
Do we need money in the water fund right now?
Well, let me ask a good point. So let me ask a question. So if we put it in the general, can we shift it to anywhere? So we can shift it later. So that gives you flexibility to be able to use it.
There and later when it matures.
Yeah.
So that is added to the motion?
Yes, I would prefer if that, so that way it's reflected if the auditors ever ask.
I'd like to make a motion authorizing the city administrator to close certificate of deposit account ending 6599 and certificate of deposit account ending 12639 at the Lytle State Bank with funds totaling $5,000 and $250,000 respectively, and to divert the monies into the general account. General fund.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got a motion on the floor?
Yeah, I'll second that.
You got a second? Thank you. Okay, further discussion on this.
Yeah, just, you probably mentioned it before, Zach, but remind me. The money we take out of the CD, I know sometimes they have restrictions on when you can pull that money, and these do mature in May, as you noted here. The money in text pool, is it a CD or is it available to us anytime
It's
we ask
available
for it?
anytime.
No penalty.
No penalty.
What a deal.
And you're still looking good on that?
Yeah. So I know, at least in the last statement, we gained more interest than we had the whole year prior at Lytle State Bank in just one quarter.
One period.
Yeah. So.
We still have other accounts with...
There are still other accounts, and Yvonne and I are working closely on what to do. And obviously, the next item you'll see, those were already closed, but committing those as well, like we just did with this one. But yes, we are working on slowly closing those out and working through that.
Everything is being looked at. Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas, motion carries forward. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead and move on to I, consideration and possible action concerning commitment of closed money market account ending 8351, and money market account ending 7334, with funds totaling $10,544 with 93 cents and $126,343 with 64 cents, respectfully.
All right, so Mayor and Council, again, these were closed, but in working on the back end to make sure they're committed appropriately, just like we did with the last one, I just need direction on where to commit the money to. It does appear that both of these were listed as possible gas-related activities, but obviously we no longer have gas. And so, again, not a problem with either committing to utility or general fund, or if you want to say, for park, I mean, you can literally, you have a litany of options that you want to do for these. So we just need to commit it on the back end appropriately.
So you wouldn't be upset if we put it in a general fund again?
So you're asking for the same thing as the
Yes.
Yes.
All right, well, then I'd make that motion that we direct the city administrator to earmark the money from money market account ending 7334 and 8351, with the amounts totaling $10,544.93 and $126,347.64 earmarked to the general fund.
Okay. Got a motion? Do I have a second? Nope. Richard, second? Okay. Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. Motion carries forward. All right. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and move on to J. This is consideration and possible action concerning the appointment of the Mayor Pro Temp for the city of Lytle.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to nominate Alderman David Emery for the position of Mayor Pro Tem for the city of Lytle.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Anna, you got a second? Okay. Discussion. You want to do it?
I accept the nomination.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I got a few times here coming up. We'll need
Full
some help.
disclosure, I asked the mayor if he wanted me, and he said, it's fine. So I accept the nomination.
The council needs to know from you directly, so just want to make sure. All right. Any other discussion? Question? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you so much. Motion carries forward.
Sure.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and move on to K, discussion and possible action concerning open committee member positions.
Yeah, so Mayor and Council, obviously with Anna now being appointed to Council for the current term, we have an opening on the Manufactured Home Commission, as well as we still have the existing openings on the Beautification Committee, 3 total there, and we do have one annual Citizenship Award Committee opening as well. I think previously we never found Miguel had never found anybody for that. So we just wanted to again present this item. I totally understand if y'all don't have any names tonight, but wanted to make sure that y'all are aware that we still have those openings out there. So we'll probably stick it on for next time as well, and unless, again, y'all have names for tonight, but just wanted to make sure we relayed that. So.
Yeah, Mayor, just like last year, I'd like to reach out to the citizens of Lytle. If they're interested in being on a committee, please talk to your alderman, talk to the mayor, come by the city, talk to the city staff, and let us know if you're interested. We welcome you, definitely welcome you to join one of the committees.
Zach, would you be open to putting a blurb on our sign out there?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. We had some troubles recently with the marquee, but it seems to be fixed, so we can definitely get that up there.
Yeah. If people know, they may be interested.
Yep. If we put a quick little flyer too, we can share it through Richie and myself with social media. These are the committees that are available. Be able to go ahead and talk to them, and especially if we can take care of those districts that are open, that'd be great.
We can do that.
Okay. All right. So this one, unless we have any nominations, I don't think we have anything on this one. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Okay. Anything else or questions? Okay. Let's go ahead and help out with this so we can fill them. It'll make it a lot easier. It gives a lot more flexibility, especially as we get into some of these months where a lot of people start traveling, and it gives flexibility, and we have the right number so we can hold some of these meetings. All right, let's go ahead and move on to L. This is presentation, discussion, and direction concerning budget policy assumptions for fiscal year 2025-2026.
All right, so Mayor and Council, we were supposed to have a special council meeting tomorrow for this item, but because we moved this item to today, I figured might as well just stick it on for tonight and not have tomorrow's meeting. So probably y'all all forgot that we were having the meeting. So, but obviously, just like last year, as we start the budget process, want to just make sure we're aligned from a methodology standpoint as we're proceeding with beginning the budget. And so laid out, obviously, kind of our assumptions. Most of this pretty much tracks with how we treated last year. Obviously, starting off with trying to use the same tax rate and the current tax rate and basing it off of that, and the use of 96% of the collection rate as well. And then, obviously, estimating fees based on actuals that we've seen over the last 2 or 3 years to kind of forecast what we see upcoming. Additionally, just like as we did last year, we will also have conversations centered around evaluating our fees. Across the board. As now we do need to really adopt that every year, so that way we don't lose out on not being able to charge those fees. As far as expenses, again, forecasting those based on current and what we're seeing trend-wise. I will say that I put in here the inclusion of a 6% increase on health insurance. I should have the final numbers for that here probably either this week or next. So I will say that TML Health has indicated the board approved only a 2% increase. However, in looking at our data, we have seen this past year increased claims as an entity. So wanted to make sure that we're being appropriate and sticking enough cushion in there. That 2% doesn't mean we're going to automatically get 2%. Entities could go lower or higher than that 2%. So, but that's kind of where their baseline is. But we'll have a better idea. I'm hoping that it's not quite 6%, obviously, but we'll build that in to start off with and then come back at a later date. Included with the item, a couple of things. I've included the CPI, just like I did last year, pulling it in April. So right now the CPI shows basically 1.9, so a 2% increase. And so I'd like to move forward at least with a 2% COLA increase across the board to start off with. However, I did indicate 2% still fairly low, so I'd like to at least run a scenario of a 3% to match what we did this last year as well, and just wanted to make sure that we were aligned on that. And then the last thing included in here is the council priorities. So what I provided in the data sheet was I'd like to see by Wednesday, June 4th, so next Wednesday, if y'all can email me any changes that y'all would like to the actual priority list that was included in the packet. Don't rank them, just give me an updated list if there's anything that needs to be removed in your opinion or added to that list. And then once I have that, I'll compile all that together and send that back out so we can go ahead and get your rankings as we move forward. So obviously I'm happy to entertain any questions on what was presented in the packet as far as kind of the methodology going forward with the budget.
On some of these items, aren't we committed already? Mm-hmm. And so they wouldn't necessarily need a ranking. Can you update the list, send it to us, and then we can rank the updated list?
Yeah, so if you have anything you want to remove, just we need to remove this, and then we can go ahead and make the
Well, I would like for instance, the new water well, we're committed to that. That shouldn't even be on the list. That's what I'm getting at.
So that one, so a new water well, that would be like getting a new one. So that is still an open item.
Newer one?
Yes. Yeah, getting one. Yeah. So this is because we have the
water well, not the storage tank. I think you're.
I'm talking about the storage tank.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, this is the well itself.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, those are the questions. That's why we want to talk about it and send, and then we provide clarification.
I'm happy to scrub it, but I think y'all probably can do a better job, honestly, of scrubbing some of it. And then, again, if I need to clarify any of that, I mean, it's really up to y'all. But I think most of these are probably, some of them have been obviously repeating for a while. Obviously, plugging in well 3, that's on there. Obviously, as we know, will be taken care of here soon. So most of those can be taken off.
Yeah, another item was the field lights for the park.
Yep.
Park improvements.
I mean, we're already committed to that, and that's listed at number 17.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. I mean, if you want us to go off this existing list.
Yeah, and then just like Zach mentioned, if you have other projects that maybe we haven't talked about, this is a time to put them in there for us to take a look at it, and we weigh them against everything else and come up with a top 3. And that the main intent, the reason that we do this is so we can help the staff get concentrated, and this is the stuff we want you to work on, so we can start not only looking at the projects, but then start looking at where are we going to get the funding that goes along with that.
Well, speaking of staff, you said you put the 2% in, right?
Yes.
I'd like to see, we've all said we've been making great strides in everything we're doing throughout the city with employees and police department, staff here. Can you show us what 3 to 5 will look like for them? As we know, small cities have a big turnaround, and I would like to keep who we have aboard. As we know, we see things are going up in price. It's getting expensive to live out here. So I'd like to, again, see if we can not have so much of a turnaround, if we even have that, but to see what it would look like.
Are you asking to nix 2 and just do like 3, 4, and 5, or do 2, 3, 4, and 5?
Like 2, 3, and 5.
2, 3, and 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so we can take a look at it, something that's feasible.
wages.
Yeah. Yeah, just to see what it comes up with. The other thing I'll note, and I just want to make sure, is on the property tax. So I did include the preliminary numbers that were sent over so far from the 3 counties. Sorry for the first packet, including everything from Bexar County. But I wanted to make sure, last year we did use the low end of a 5% range, which I included on that sheet. And I wanted to make sure that we're still comfortable with using that. It's a conservative approach, but I think it's prudent to do so. But basing the budget on that, and then if we need to adjust later on, then we can do so. But wanted to make sure we were still comfortable with that. So.
That'll be all part of the worksheet, the workshops, going through that, just being able to look at the stuff that we can do internally, and then the stuff that is a priority, but we need to go find the funding that goes along with that. So we'll have those discussions also that go along with that. Anything else, Zach?
That's it, unless there's anything from
Okay. I think the only thing is, if we do have the dates, let's just make sure so we can
I'll
put
send
them
back out.
Yeah, let's send them out and get them to Anna too, so we can make sure that we have them in the schedule. Yeah, and be able to do that.
Yes, I will do that.
That'd be good. All right. Okay, Council, if it's okay with you all, it's 7:40 right now. I was thinking to go ahead and take a 5-minute break, make it a short one. If we're going to grab something to eat, go ahead and grab that, take it into the exec. We'll come back, we'll start the executive session, and then we go in the back. That way we can go ahead and save ourselves a little bit of time. Okay? So if you guys are okay with that?
Yeah.
We're good? Okay, so it's 7:40 right now. So let's be back here around 7:45, and we will go ahead and then go into executive session. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let me just we'll just pass the annotation to Paula. Okay, let's go ahead and show. We are back at 7:48. Took a little bit of extra time. Let's go ahead and move on to item number 8. This executive session. The City Council, City of Lytle may convene an executive session in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Section 551.071. Consultation with attorney to discuss and consider the following items. A, discussion concerning possible agreement with the Nueces River Authority for the purchase of future water needs. B, discussion concerning bill and consumption water usage. And C, discussion concerning pending litigation and civil citation filed with Atascosa County Court. So we can go ahead and show it is 7:49 and we are going into executive session. Travis, I really appreciate it. We'll go back there and then we'll go into the next item if we have some questions, okay? We'll get back with you. All right, Council, if we can go ahead and go to the back. Austin, please join us, sir. Are we good?
Good.
We're good? Okay. Let's go ahead and show. It is 8:50 and we are back from executive session. No action taken back there. We're going to go ahead and move on to item number 9. Discussion and possible action regarding matters discussed in executive session. A, consideration and possible action concerning resolution number 25XX, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of a short-term option for portable water reservation and diversion contract by and between the City of Lytle, Texas, and the Nueces River Authority, providing for incorporation of preamble, authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement, and providing an effective date. Zach?
Mayor and Council, obviously just want to introduce Travis from the Nueces River Authority, so I'll let him speak to you all about the effort. So.
And thank you, Travis. Sorry for the long night, but we appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. I understand. I was a mayor for 12 years in post, so I totally understand where you guys are at. Well, thank y'all for having me here. I won't go to too much, but I'll leave a lot of time for questions and answers. I know that you've had a chance to be briefed on the project. This is extremely important to us, to the region. We call it internally, this is our South Texas moonshot. We know where we stand with water. It's no secret to our resources is dying, and this is our way to save our water for our future so our kids can live here. We live just south of Poth. I want my kids to live here, and if a project like this doesn't transpire, it's going to be hard for us to maintain our way of life here. This is a project that we're moving forward. We would love for you guys to participate if you want to. There's no obligations, obviously. We just, very important to me, coming from a small town, is we don't want all the water to go to the big cities who are taking all the water underground. We want to make sure that the opportunities for you, the smaller cities like you guys, to be included in this project. A big note over the weekend, Senate Bill 7 did pass. That was a big water bill. If you're paying attention to that, that put $2.5 billion out of the surplus fund into the water project to do these types of water projects, and $1 billion annually every year into this water project to help bring that cost down to the citizens. So they're still haven't figured out how that process is going to happen, but we will be definitely going after those funds when the time comes to make this as cheap as possible for the communities. So that was a very, very big step to make that happen. As far as the communities around you, we have about 40 million gallons sold to small water districts and cities throughout south of San Antonio towards the Corpus Christi area. Benton City, believe they're going to approve their amount of usage here in a few weeks. They had previously approved the special committee to determine how much water they were going to need, and I know that's just closest water district. And I think the committee came up with, if I remember right, I think it was 2.5 million gallons a day is what they approved through that subcommittee. Now it's on to the general committee to approve. I think they'll do that in a few weeks here. I'll be in Castroville in 2 weeks, City Hondo in I think a week and a half, Jourdanton in a couple of weeks, Pleasanton in a few weeks, because we've all kind of started the same process that we had started with you guys, so everyone's kind of in the same mode. So those are just some of the general communities around here in this area. But I would like to open up to questions that you guys may or may not have about the project.
Have you locked down the specific technology that you're going to use for this desalinization?
Our RO process?
Yeah.
Yes, it'll be an RO process. So we were talking about a little bit. There is...
Explain RO.
RO, it's called your reverse osmosis, and they're these fine membranes, and you use high pressure water to push through there, and that takes all of the salts and all the minerals and all those things out of the water. So you take the marine water and you turn it into, actually it becomes pure H2O. It's actually so pure we actually have to put it through a limestone process to put some calcium in it before we can put it back in the pipes for you guys to take it, because it's pure H2O. Pure H2O in its original is actually it's not a safe product. It'll deteriorate pipelines and all those types of things. So that's one of the really good things about it. If you know about PFAS and all those things that are coming at the microplastics, everything is taken out through this RO process. So it is pure, and the only thing we're going to put back into it is the limestone, the calcium, just so it doesn't corrode the pipes. We'll have the first phase is 100 million gallons, and then with our customers that are on, we're going to be built. Everything is being built so that we can go up to 500 million gallons in the long run. So that we'll be expanding capacities as our customers need it. We'll be communicating with you on when that next phase will be going, so that as the cities grow around here, you'll be able to buy extra capacity, and all of the folks who buy in on the first round have first right of refusal for the second round, third round, and so forth. You're always going to be part of that system. So as your city grows, you can always get in part of that next round before anybody else can get in there.
Yeah, along that line, the infrastructure, once the infrastructure's in, and we say we want X million gallons, 5 years from now we want X plus so many gallons. Do we have to change the infrastructure?
No. So part of the Senate Bill 7 was it was called a state participation, where we're going to be allowed to the state's going to pay for the upsizing of the line. So we're not going to build it to 500 million, but we will probably build to about either 200 or 300 million. So the first two jump ups, we'll already have the infrastructure in place for that. It'll just be adding on the facility down in the Port A area to produce more water. But we'll be making that decisions based on our customers' needs on when that's going to happen. Personally, I believe that's going to happen in another 18 months to 24 months at the growth rate we have. Internally, we thought it was going to be 5 or 6 years, but after speaking to all the water district cities I have too, I don't think we have that long to start planning the second phase already.
So you're delivering water to the cities that are participating. What's the deal on resale?
For y'all to resell it?
Yes.
Once it leaves our pipeline it's your water. You sell it however you want to sell it. It's not our decision making. We don't want to have any direct customers. If there's a industry that wants to come to the area, they're not going to buy the water from us. They're going to buy it from y'all. Right. So what you do when you buy it, it's your water. If you want to do interconnects with other communities and share water between yourselves, that's your prerogative. The only thing we won't allow is intertransfer from the pipeline. Like, you couldn't transfer the water to like Beeville because the pipeline's going to be based on that water that's coming through. So we can't change the infrastructure to do that. But as far as when it leaves our pipe to your pipe, it's your water.
Makes sense. Thank you.
All right. So you've seen recently a lot, the important for the council to know, seen a lot more commitment from the state on this.
Yes. We have, yeah. Senate Bill 7 was a key part of that project to bring that cost down, and the biggest thing is bring the initial cost down. But that upsizing agreement was really important because the biggest cost of this project is the pipeline. I mean, the desal is going to be probably maybe 30% of the whole cost. It's the piping it up here, so we don't want to phase 2 have to incur those same costs to bring the extra pipe, upsize the line. So we want to upsize them when we put them in the ground the first time. So that's a very key piece. So that the next phase is we're not paying another exorbitant amount because we have to redo the pipelines and everything.
Okay, council? Yeah. Anything else? Nothing at all?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 25XX, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Lytle, Texas, approving terms and conditions of a short-term option for portable water reservation and diversion contract by and between the City of Lytle, Texas and the Oasis River Authority, providing for incorporation of preamble, authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such an agreement, and provide effective date today of May the 28th, 2025.
Okay. And I think we were looking at options on the amount that we were going to be
to be included for the amount of 27,000.
Yeah, which would be the 1 million?
1 million gallons. Thank you.
So the 1 million gallons. Okay. So I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Got a second? Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. Any further discussion?
I just want to thank y'all for thinking future into I know that's a hard decision. I was the mayor for a long time, and thinking of something that's not coming for 4 or 5 years is a hard choice, but I appreciate y'all thinking of that future because together we can only do this together. So thank y'all.
I appreciate it. Okay, so let's make it official. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Travis.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, look forward to our partnership, okay?
Thank y'all.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Safe travels.
From one pirate to another.
Thank you so much. Hey, the good thing is he's not wearing the other color, so it's all good,
I will say I have a love-hate relationship with you. I was telling you earlier, I used to play basketball. When I was playing here in the 90s, y'all had a rubber floor, gym, and I was always bloody after every game from falling on that floor, so we always had a love-hate relationship with y'all's community.
Hey, if you're a pirate, you gotta have a little bit of blood, it's all good. It's all good. All good. Thank you so much, Travis. We'll be in touch, okay? Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and council. Let's go ahead and finish up. We gotta take care of a few more things so we can call it a night. Let's go ahead and take care of our department reports. The first one that we have is our city secretary's report.
Okay. Hello, council. Mine's are a little bit short, so here we go. We had a total of $22,358 in taxes. I think we're pretty much high up there on that one. And for the beer and the wine license, we had nothing for this month, for the month of April. We're still...
How long does it take for the...
It just kind of depends.
What's it going?
Months, a year?
How do you go back?
It depends when they pay the comptroller is the problem. So.
And then when they send it to us. Sometimes they don't send them right away.
Sometimes quarterly, sometimes more than. Yeah.
I'm just saying this.
I know.
That's already
It's nothing on our end. It's really just waiting for the comptroller to.
It's been 2 months at the beginning, I guess, that was sent, and then 1 month it was, and there's nothing for this month. So
there's some good celebrations in Lytle, I can tell you that.
I know that for sure. These were some of the meetings that I had, or some training that I had for the month of April. Some meetings with my chapter, and we did have the Easter extravaganza there. So The swimming for the notary was a pretty good one, so Judge McCall made that one. That was a good one. Then we had 3 requests for the month of April. One that is still outstanding. That one is with the...
No, it's been sent to the AG.
Okay, through AG. So that one's there. So that one's still out. We fulfilled 2 of them, so year to date we have 7 of them.
Just to clarify on that, so we've had 2 requests for some information that, in speaking with our attorneys, they sent a letter to the Attorney General to make sure what we could or couldn't release, because we're basically asking to withhold some of the information. It both relate to various bids that we went through recently, so just wanted to relay, but not out of the ordinary for that to happen. So.
We published 3 agendas. A hearing have published and completed 3 minutes, and ordinances passed were 2, and resolutions were 8. This right here was just a couple of pictures of the kids that actually won the raffles. We were missing 2 of them, I think, and our Easter bunny there with our 2 helpers right there. And yes, thank you to the city and everyone that helped out, because it was a great event. Did about
Public Works helpers.
Yes, they didn't take a picture of them. Their shirts, they matched perfectly, and nobody got a picture of them. You didn't give me a picture.
Rookie move.
Yes, so that one's not. I don't go steal pictures, sir. I'm sorry.
She didn't want to pay $100.
No, I don't want to pay $100. But that's about it. That's all we had for that month. So.
All right. So, thank you so much, Paola. Appreciate it. That's good. A lot of stuff happening in the last couple of weeks, so we really appreciate it. Council, just want to go ahead and let you know, Anna, the shirts, please. Let's go ahead and work so we can go ahead and do that. Matt is wearing one of the new ones. I got a new one, except mine has a pretend name tag on it. So these are different materials. So if you want to get one of these, if you want one of the Magellans, on there, please get, so we can go ahead and work with Richie's helping us out with that. So we can go ahead and get some of these shirts taken care of, okay? That way, if we have an event and we're getting all together, we can all have the same type of shirt. Okay? Thank you, ma'am. All right.
Try to go quick here. Really the only big update on this is on the 12-inch main loop. So we're still finalizing some of the easements for some of the properties as we've discussed in the past. But June 2nd, so next Monday, is the notice to proceed for that particular project. You probably noticed maybe today they put out some of the casings over here by the old Mr. Pizza place, and so that's going to be the casings for the boring that has to happen. TxDOT's requiring each driveway along McDonald here has to be bored, so not open cut. So you'll start seeing, we got a flyer prepared today, and we'll get notification out to all the businesses, as well as that on our website, and out to any other residents and businesses along the stretch of McDonald and Railroad Street where the project is happening. So we'll start seeing a lot of activity with ACE here in the next couple weeks on that. So wanted to just give you all a heads up on that. Yeah, go ahead.
So people are going to see a lot of this, the material preposition in different places on there. Please make sure they understand that we're just doing all the prep work. We're trying to get started over here. We still got to go all the way across down Railroad before we connect. So it'll be a while before we start flowing water or connecting anything. Right now it's just we're trying to put the priority over here so then we can go ahead and take care of the sidewalk project by the fall. Okay. But people are going to be asking a lot of questions.
Sounds good. No update on Saddle Ridge, other than I would like to note that we had the utility contractor reach out this past week
who I guess has now, they were bidding the project for finishing out the subdivision, which is phases 3 and 4, and also our road. So the utility contractor reached out because they were obviously informed that they couldn't connect to our water anymore because we're in stage 4 and 5. We're no longer allowing that. And so they were reaching out. So I'm hoping that we're going to start seeing activity with our road, emergency exit going in, as well as obviously as they start to move for phases 3 and 4. So good news on that front. As far as Rosewood, we have 54 completed out in phase 1, 35 are under construction, and 3 at the time of this report under review. I put this picture in last time mainly for Mr. Rodriguez, but you left early. And so obviously out there, as you are now, that's your district out there, so you can see the streets. And I know they've been laying sidewalks here recently, so hopefully get a better picture for you on that too. As far as Lytle Farms, really no update. I'm sorry, that is for Lytle Farms. So, but really just still moving along on the completion of the construction out there. So, yeah. On permit side, I see the breakdown for the applications received. We're seeing a lot on the still new homes, and then just general kind of addition remodels on the residential side, and then obviously you see the permits issued pretty similar across the board on what's being received and then issued for the month of April. Inspections, pretty standard information there for y'all. 3 COs issued, all residential, and then certificate of compliance, we had 5, 3 solar panels and 2 irrigation systems. Court total transactions for April was 197, and then you see what was actually done in April as far as citations and violations, and then what was those same ones that came in, what was taken care of. And so again, that lower number, but again, total transactions for the month of April in court was 197. Updates since I did the report, we are speaking with our potential associate judge here in the next week or two. The judge and I have a contract that we've written up, and so just making sure that they're comfortable with that, and so hopefully we'll have that on an upcoming council meeting if they agree to that. So I will say that all the judges down there that are currently already magistrating down in the county are, helping the judge out as necessary while we don't have anybody currently in that role, and so they've been very helpful regardless, so which is great. City contracts, real no update on this, other than, we're just still working, that pending billing issue is still out there on CPS, but honestly it's been radio silence on that front, so Mayor and I think are hopeful that they just kind of let it go and we just kind of move on. Still, again, working with AT&T, there really hasn't been too much of an update, but I know John was here last time to fill y'all in where we're at with that. Just the meetings for the month that I had, and then on the right side, obviously the various projects. We had the initial meeting, identified scope for the master drainage plan. Mayor, myself, Chief, and Pete were involved in that. I think David was there as well. The emergency interconnection, working with the engineers at East Medina. What we're finding is we've asked for plans of where their current line is running close to our property, so that way we can avoid trying to connect at the corner of 2790 because it's quite crowded with utilities there already. So we're trying to figure out where we can connect but still be on our property and not an issue there. Obviously, we're ongoing with the water and wastewater study. I'm hoping to have that here in the next couple of weeks to have them here to present. And capital improvement plan, ComFinley is continuing to gather data. Pete and I are meeting with them in the last couple of weeks. We've had meetings. And then obviously the change order was submitted on the plugging of well 3, so we're hopeful that they get started here in the next week or two. And then just human resources, obviously we did post the finance director job on our website and on TML. We've had 2 applications thus far for that, and we'll continue to kind of leave that open and see what we get from that. We have the foreman job that's still kind of been out there. I do have a potential lead on that came to our attention for maybe someone that has a sewer license, so I'm hoping that maybe that might work out. And then obviously the code compliance officer is still posted out there, so no big updates on the human resources front.
They don't have a sewer license. Can y'all help them get the sewer license?
Yeah, and we've offered that even to the existing employees as well. So I know that one of the employees, Juan, who's been with us for a little while now, he's actively looking and kind of studying and doing some of that on sewer. So I mean, we're looking for that, and if someone comes in that's a viable candidate for that, that looks like we can get them there, then yeah, that's something we're considering for sure. And that's it. That's all I got.
Council, anything else?
One thing that caught my eye was the permit issue for the HVAC. Is that for a new placement of the AC system, or is that a replacement of an existing?
You talking about the permits?
Mm-hmm. Issued permits. You got HVAC one. It's the 4th item down on the right.
Residential addition.
On the permits issue, normally those are either, they could be a repair, but they also could, like a condenser, or something like that, or it could be a whole new HVAC system that they're putting, but that's, yeah.
Because that's what I was wondering, if your plumber comes in and says you need a new HVAC, and I just happen to have one in the truck, they put it in there, they have to come in for a permit just to replace an existing unit?
They're supposed to.
Okay.
I will say it probably happens more often than not, but they don't.
I would understand if it's a brand new system and it's never been there.
Yeah.
It just depends on what they're doing and the electrical requirement and everything else they're doing. But honestly, my gut feeling is residential addition. This is somebody who decided to go ahead and extend a room, and hey, we're going to go ahead and do the plenum and do all that, and you're running the electrical, and so
that's normally where you're seeing
I think that's probably where
that's why it caught my eye, because it's something
able to do that.
Don't see.
And normally they're not. Obviously, like someone, hey, I want to go add a couple plugs, even for like electrical, they're not coming in for a permit for that kind of stuff, and I necessarily wouldn't require
Well,
it.
if the air conditioner went out in my house and the guy was there to fix it, my wife would hold him at gunpoint. She'd say, fix it first.
True that.
As hot as it is around.
Permit is waived. I'll be able to do that.
Yep.
Good question, though.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? All right. Let's go ahead and go around the room. Informational items. Nothing.
For informational, but I'd just like to just send a little shout out to my nephew, who will be graduating Friday, and we're so proud of him. He will be going to Mid-America University in Oklahoma. We're so proud of him.
Actually, last night he got recognized. He basically set records for the school, and 11-0 with a great pitching rate. Honestly, yeah. It's going to stand for a while. Yeah, he did really good. Really classy with those red shoes, though. Those were some, I'll tell you, reminded me of an old movie I used to watch a long time ago, but that was good. He's got a very bright future. And also, by the way, academics, stellar in academics too. So he's doing really good on both ends. I think it's going to be really good. So we look forward to seeing him. See him on ESPN. That'll be good. Hey, nothing. We only got, is it just one that is left over there by the mobile home park, or is that one taken care of? That's the only one, right? Yeah, everything. I'll talk a little bit about you guys here shortly too, but great job. So just one. Woo, that's great. All right, Cassandra, thank you for being here. Melinda, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you for putting out, I noticed you put the post, you got all the extra puppies that showed up, right?
Yes.
How's it coming with that?
We have a meeting on Monday, meeting with society.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And of course this weekend we have Bella's Pantry, so time to take care of some folks around the community, right? That'll be good. All right. Anything we want to share? Nothing? All right. Go around. Austin?
No.
Anna? Nothing. All right. Anna's still showing up, so that's a good sign. So that's a real good sign to be able to do that.
I'm sorry. We do have an enchilada plate sale at Coal Mine coming up. I don't remember the date.
Can you give me the flyer?
I'll give you the flyer.
Give me the flyer so we can share it, okay?
The last one, the hamburger sale, went pretty good.
Yeah.
So, we'll just get in there where we need.
Well, you had the chicken before. It's chicken and sausage, right?
No, we had the brisket.
Brisket.
The brisket, the hamburger, now the enchilada.
That's good.
And a festival in August, hopefully.
That was good. Appreciate that.
And I think our first mass will probably be in July.
July?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep us posted. That'll be good.
It's gonna be the Pope.
It's gonna be.
American.
Hey, we only do it one way in Lytle, you know. That's how it shows up, man. All we gotta. The only thing is we all gotta wear the White Sox uniform. He's a big White Sox fan, so make him feel at home. All right, so it's a few things. I want to go ahead and say thanks. First of all, I want to say thanks to PD for 2 responses. I know that you guys have done a lot, but the first one, I just want to say thank you for being on the scene, taking care of the Lytle ISD bus, where we had that one car that decided to back into it. I'll just leave it like that. But being on the scene and taking care of the situation until Atascosa responded, that was great. And then, of course, and Richie being out there too with the fire. We had a fire out at Twin Lakes. It's outside the city limits, but they responded. Richie was on the scene helping out, and until everything was taken care of. Luckily, there was no losses. We had some injuries from one of the residents, and there is some information floating out there in a sense of being able to help them out too. So just to let you know, but PD, thank you for that, along with a few other things that were going on around the town. Thanks to Public Works with unique water issues with contractors, and I mean we went through some long days there for a while trying to take care of that. I know we still have to finish up on 132, but I think we got things lined up correctly to be able to make it better. But you guys did a great job. We were able to babysit the system and no boil notice. So that was a big thing, just so we could go ahead and keep it going and keep our HEB open and keep everybody going too. So that works out really good. But I appreciate all your work and hard work with that. Finding all those leaks, definitely big difference. So we're looking forward to the next report that comes in the next month. Please pass it on to everybody on there. Thanks to City Hall staff for taking on a little bit more work while we're in the middle of finding our next finance director. Little special thanks to Zach too. Appreciate it. A lot more digging into it and trying to figure things out. So we appreciate that. And it's been little by little. We're still adjusting and finding things and making things work. Thanks to Julian over at the parks for taking care of grass trimming around the frontage road and stripes. If you drove through there, luckily he started and then TxDOT showed up. I don't know if so some of that work that is done out there, it was done by the city, trying to take care of that, and we're hoping to hear something here in the near future. Actually, we got one day to take care of this stuff here pretty soon, especially with graduation over there in the sidewalks. We still have 2 more nights on the water project, so everything that was scheduled for this week is next week. It'll be in the same nights, same hours. I know Richard is waiting for those phone calls. You shouldn't get that many phone calls. It should be, yeah. We sat down and chatted. So a lot of those variables are supposed to be taken care of, so we should be good. Just like we mentioned with the 12-inch main, please pass that on. Let people know of what's going on. Got graduation this Friday at the high school. Congratulations to our graduates and our families, our educators, everybody out there, admin staff, another successful year. So we're looking forward to it. Hopefully the rain doesn't come, because if not, we got to take it inside, and that'll be very interesting. So, how many people want to go see Jair? I know. So I think they limited last time they had to do it. I think they only give you 4 tickets, right? So hopefully that doesn't happen. We have the next outreach is in July, so the middle of July, so that's the next one. In case you have any questions or anything, we'll get the information out. But I know a lot of people ask about that. June the 7th, we got the poker fundraising for the Lytle Education Foundation. It's a big thing for our school district. They're reintroducing that as a way to bring in some money. So if you want to participate or know anybody, details are out there. June the 7th, Masonic is also having their awards for the high school students. This is where they give out the scholarships. Everybody is welcome to attend that and see that. It's pretty neat what they actually do with that. And then on June the 14th, and this is for our emergency responders, they're having breakfast that day. So the 14th of June, and that's for everybody. They're doing their breakfast over there. And from what I remember last year, they did a really good job. And it's one of the ways to everybody. It's the whole local community, surrounding communities. They invite everybody to show up, and you guys are invited to show up if you want to show up and show support for emergency responders on there. The last thing, just as a FYI, because some people have already asked, even though it's way, is homecoming parade. So the Lytle alumni has decided to go ahead and do a daytime parade, and they will do it on the Saturday after the homecoming parade. So right now, the new date is the 25th of October. Okay? 25th. That should be a Saturday. So the 24th should be the game, and then the 25th is a parade. Okay? In case anybody is asking. So the following year is when the city gets it, and we'll go ahead and dive into that and try to figure out what we need to do. But this year, the alumni is going to go ahead and do that and do the typical things that they do for some of the people that actually come back. But in case people are already asking and stuff, you can just let them know that the alumni will be sending information out and letting everybody know. Okay? Should be good.
My wife is 2 more days and she's officially retired from Lytle ISD.
For the second time. That's why I'm not going to hold my breath.
I told her she needs to go another 5 more years.
I think she was hanging out at the house and was like, it's time for me to go back to work, right?
You get used to that RV, so.
Yeah. No, well, you got to take care of the family. Yeah. That's the important thing right now, so we have the adjustment. Okay, any last minute? Anything at all? Okay, it is 9:24. Do I have a motion for us to adjourn?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Got a motion? Second? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you so much. Austin, appreciate it. Those of you in the audience, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Good meeting.
Emma is currently #1 in her